I know that the only reason she is alive is because God kept her alive. She went without oxygen for almost 11 minutes. For all intents and purposes, she shouldn't be alive today, but she is. And the only reason I know in my heart that that is because God kept her alive. Because there was a plan, right? It goes back to like that none of this was never not supposed to happen. Like that day was always part of my story. There's nothing I could have done or said leading up to that moment that would have changed it. I genuinely believe that like my entire life led up to that moment. And so I was arrested, of course, that day. And she was in the hospital for like a day and a half. And then she went into foster care. And I was arrested that day, charged with injury to child. And I remember, so everything happened like around noon or something that day, like it was like early afternoon. And by the time I actually got to the jail that day, it was like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And because I was detoxing off of fentanyl and methadone, they put me into the medical unit in Ada County. Because it was so late at night, I wasn't able to use a phone. I remember like the cell that they had me in, like there was no bed or anything. It was just like it was concrete floor and there was like a concrete step. I had a blanket in there with me and I was like starting to go into withdrawal. And so my body physically was, just all of the things that happen when you're in an opiate withdrawal. And so physically, right, my body was breaking down, but emotionally and spiritually, I was so like empty is the only word that I can use to describe those moments, because it was so late at night. Like I couldn't make a phone call. My oldest daughter had gone to the hospital to be with her, but I wasn't able to like use the phone to call her. So I spent that first night in medical, like in an awful withdrawal detox, but also not knowing if she had made it through the night. Because when I left the hospital, when they arrested me, she was like stabilized, but there was no like guarantee that she was going to be okay. I spent that first night literally just begging God, like, please just let her be okay. Please let her be okay. And it wasn't like, please let me out of here tomorrow. Like, please, I don't want to go to prison. Like, please, it was none of that. It was just, I just kept saying the words like, please let her be okay. Please let her be okay. The only way that I can describe like what I experienced that night is like a truly spiritual experience. And it wasn't like God spoke to me that night and he said, everything's going to be okay. And I was so happy after that. And I was great. And I didn't go to prison. Like, what happened after that was some of the absolute worst things that I've ever walked through in my life. But again, they opened the door to an absolutely beautiful life that I have today.